Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the PopSockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Welcome to Champions League Spotlight. I'm Simon Johnson. Today we're talking about Chelsea's Conference League final against Real Betis. The Blues are strong favorites, but that doesn't mean it's going to be an easy ride for them. Chelsea have already secured one significant target this week by qualifying for the Champions League for the first time in the Todd Boehly-Clearlake era. Now the men's team have the chance to get their hands on the first piece of silverware under the consortium, too. They will be strong favorites against Real Betis in Wednesday's Conference League final in Wrocław. Succeed and they will become the only club to have the full set of major UEFA trophies: Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, and Cup Winners' Cup. Fail, and it will be a missed opportunity to make history. The pressure is on Chelsea to deliver, but their opponents' Betis are no pushovers either. Betis have never won a European trophy. This is the biggest game in their history. They're managed by Manuel Pellegrini, who Chelsea's head coach Enzo Maresca has a lot of respect for. He played under him at Malaga and was his assistant at West Ham United. Enzo called him his professional dad last week and clearly feels Chelsea are in for a tough game. There is a different feel about it for both clubs. Chelsea have been expected to win it from day one, whereas it will be a dream for Betis to do so. It reminds me of when Chelsea lost their first Club World Cup final against Corinthians in 2012, when the Brazilian team wanted it more. In saying that, Chelsea are in a great mindset after Sunday. If they had failed to qualify for the Champions League, they would have been under a lot of pressure and on a bit of a downer. Instead, they are on a high after getting the result they needed at Nottingham Forest. That could balance out the fact that they have had shorter preparation time than their opponents, who played on Friday night. Chelsea will be strong favorites, but as we know, in football anything can happen. Now it's time to take a closer look at how Enzo Maresca is planning to get his team through this tough test. Our resident expert, Liam Twomey, and I have been discussing the key players who will start for Chelsea and how they'll line up against Betis. Firstly, we need to talk about the back four. Regular listeners to Straight Outta Cobham will have heard me saying Robert Sanchez should start in goal. Philip Jorgensen has played most of the games, but Sanchez is the no one and has done pretty well in recent weeks. But when I asked Maresca about it last week, he confirmed Jorgensen is going to be in goal. In my opinion, if you are trying to win a cup, you go with your best keeper. No time for sentiment. Liam, what's your take on the back four? You agree that the team should go with their best players. LT, I agree. I believe it is dangerous nonsense. You could apply the same logic to all the other players who have played a lot of minutes up to the final that are not considered to be the A team. You should always play your best players in a big game. Besides, Jorgensen has been accustomed to playing with a certain group of defenders, like Benoit Badiashile and Josh Acampong, not the back four you expect to start like Levi Colwill, Mark Cucurella, and Reece James. Mess around with those familiar connections, and you increase the chance of mistakes, particularly when trying to play out from the back under pressure. Trevoh Chalobah deserves to play in what could be his final match for Chelsea, especially against a top-six club like Betis. Meanwhile, we have to look at the midfield where Moises Caicedo will likely start along with Enzo Fernandez. The two of them form a great partnership and should be able to control the game. It's time for the wingers, too. All three played on Sunday. There is Tyreek George, too. However, the others are ahead of him in the pecking order. I would go with Noni Madueke and Pedro Neto. Their opponents from Betis won't have an easy job. Antony's revival since going on loan there from Manchester United is clearly a cause for concern for Chelsea. He is full of confidence, but Cucurella has been really impactful going forward as well. The question is, can he keep them in check? Perhaps Caicedo can help with that. Lastly, Nicholas Jackson needs to channel his energy in the right way after missing 2 games through suspension, following a red card against Newcastle United. The stakes are high for Chelsea if they want to win this final and make history. They need to stay focused and put on a good show. Chelsea have balance between attack and defense now, especially with Jackson coming back. I believe they will have too much for Betis. It's an amazing opportunity for them to have a fantastic end to the season and really help them to kick on in 2025-26. 2. We'll be following this closely as it happens, so stay tuned for updates from Rocklaw.